All right, let's get this right this time. We ready? Are we recording? All right.
Where's the theme music?
Yeah, Randy, why isn't the theme music playing?
Sorry.
It's the auto advance.
Auto advance, man.
TM go.
Oh.
Maybe TM go.
I can wait for it to fade out first.
TM
Hold on.
go.
Can we play announcement number 3?
Now, standing by.
Oh. Anyway, here, have some theme music. All right, everybody, welcome back to another fun-filled and exciting edition of the Talkaround Show. Here we are again, and this is episode 10, ladies and gentlemen. We made it to episode 10.
X.
Double digits.
Will there be an episode 11? We have no freaking clue, but here we are with episode 10.
I don't even need to take off my shoes to count that.
And by the way, that's the same question we asked ourselves after episode 1. So therefore,
That's true.
There are 2 types of people in this world. Wait, 10. There are 10 types of people in this world. Those who know binary and those who don't.
That is correct.
Okay.
Math jokes.
Anyway, let's start off this episode. Before we go anywhere, this is our follow-up. The last episode was our big gay Q&A episode. We had our special guest guy here, who for some reason I have to fight with myself to keep from calling Guy.
And wonder why.
Can't figure out why.
Yeah, I don't know why. But I just wanted to make one thing clear. Kyle here says that somebody contacted him in regards to some of the topics and subject matters that were brought up during the course of that show.
Yes.
And I just wanted to clear the air right now. The one in question right now, the one that comes to mind was I had angered people with my view on the requirement for on legal documents to list your actual gender as opposed to the gender that you choose.
I don't know if angered is the right term there.
Well, you said that he was screaming at the car stereo.
Well, he wasn't angry. He was upset about the way. How should I put this?
As rough as you can.
How about this?
Yeah.
He is going to write us a response to what the issues were with it. I don't think it's come yet because he is currently he's working on a project right now. Yeah, this happens to be a friend of mine, by the way. So
was it something I said?
it was Jeremiah. He was like, "I'm so sick of puns."
No, it was definitely something I said. Basically, what it came down to was because I was stating how I felt about the fact that you need to, on driver's licenses, actually put the gender that you were born or you currently are down on the driver's license. You shouldn't put not applicable or the one that you choose because of, and I don't care what you do in non-legal documents, whatever you want to refer to yourself as is whatever you want to refer to yourself as. Makes no impact on my life. But as a former medical technician, emergency medical technician, not necessarily an EMT, I never actually got the EMT, but if I had to come and work on you and I looked at your driver's license and it said female and you were actually a male, I'd be in for one hell of a surprise and I might do the wrong things. So I was concerned.
Especially if there was nothing wrong with his penis.
Right? Exactly. So, but my point is that
That was a hell of a car accident.
Right. Exactly. Hey, who does this thing belong to?
How fast was he going?
Flap, 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 flap. But
He just merged into one whole person with that other one.
So with that, yes, it's how I felt, and I spoke how I feel, and I feel the way I feel. And I guess my point is, we welcome the discourse. If you disagree with us, please let us know. And if we make you angry, then we're doing our job. You're listening. This is great. Woohoo!
I got so excited when he sent me a text and he's like, "Oh, I was screaming as I was out for a walk listening to your podcast on my headphones." And I was like,
Totally normal.
Really? Tell us about it.
Tell us more.
He's like, "Well, here, I'll send you a text." And I was like, No. Email it to us because me off.
You know what? And
I mean, that's how we like to receive our correspondence.
and I'm going to put something out there right now.
Love to hate you.
I really am. I'm going to put this out there
Just putting
first
something
time
out there.
First time in this
Put
podcast.
your
see
dick
it.
on the table right now.
If you have a problem with us, you can call and leave us a message.
Ooh.
This way, if you don't want to, I know we record this podcast at a very odd hour. It's after we get out of work on a Friday night tonight. Nobody wants to have us call right now and talk to you or anything, especially if you're not in the Pacific time zone.
Hello, 4:30 a.m. on the East
Yes.
Coast.
But you can call and leave us a message at any point in time. The Talkaround Show phone number is 702-979-4584.
Hey, that's my home number.
Immediately it rings.
Ask for Heather. So no. No, it's 702-979-4584. Call. We probably won't answer, but you will leave a message, or you will be given the option to leave a message. You will leave a message.
You'll do it.
You
And
can
you'll
leave a
love it.
message, and it'll be
Episode
like
11. It's just the four of us because Heather's killed Steve.
probably. Don't ask for
We should
Heather.
leave some of those like 80s musical messages, like just
Believe it or not, George isn't home.
Yeah.
But yeah, no. This way too. If you call, if you're pissed off or if you like us, just call. Leave a message on this thing. Talk
That's
to
a
us.
great idea.
I might play it back. This is thanks to Google Voice. Because I had set myself up with a Google Voice number a long time ago that I never used. So
No.
I might as well use it for this.
There you go.
Perfect.
So yeah, 702-979-4584.
9.
That's not part of the Google Plus program, is it?
No. Okay.
No, thankfully.
Voice. I don't know how long it'll be there. It used to be called Grand Central. Google bought it, and it still exists. That's how most of your spam calls come in.
Yeah.
They were spoofed.
Yeah,
It's a
exactly.
loud motorcycle that just drove past.
Hope it wasn't Billy's.
Yeah. Oh yeah. That's so
Wait a minute.
Other important piece of information from the last episode. So I
Yes.
know we talked a little bit about the Trevor Project during the episode, and then if anybody listened to the commercial and didn't skip it, we are trying to raise some money for the Trevor Project. So if you go onto our website, thetalkaroundshow.com, there's scroll down just a little bit. There's a nice spot there where you can donate. We're trying to get $500, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, I think we've got
Zero
so
dollars.
far.
Here's the
Thanks,
thing.
everybody.
Here's the thing. We probably have 50 listeners. So if everybody went and donated $10, we're at that goal. And we know that out of those 50 listeners, at least 25 of them work at our show, and we know how much you make.
we know how much you make.
We know if you're not donating, you're just a cheap piece of shit. So
Right?
$10. That's all it takes.
Thanks for listening.
If everybody, thanks for listening, you cheap pieces of shit.
And
If everybody would just give $10, we're there.
And also, while you're feeling giving, if anyone has a place to rent, I'm desperately looking for. And anyway, anybody? Do we have any other prevailing things from the last episode, other than the
I
fact that we learned Kyle's gay? Oh my god,
Like old business?
Wait, how's gay?
it was like a big coming out party.
I don't think we have any old business.
Hi, Billy.
We're coming in. I don't know.
Whoa.
Whoa. Well, it's a party. Who brought the champagne poppers?
Ooh,
If there's any old business, I think we're caught up.
All right.
all right.
So we're gonna just jump right into it.
Splash.
Dive in.
I do want to know, seriously, I'm going to just start with mine because I remember it. Even though we tonight at work, we were discussing things that we wanted to discuss on the show, maybe paste them on the wheel if we decide to use the wheel. But because it's the first thing that comes to my mind, I'm going to ask this question to the group, except Billy. Although Billy can say we'll get to that. Do you fart in front of your significant other?
All the damn time.
Do you really?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
It's funny.
Pretty much constantly.
My kids love it.
Never.
Me neither.
You hold it in constantly in front of your wife?
I go to the bathroom.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
I do the same.
That is insane.
And I think my body's gotten used to it. I'll wake up for that morning leak, and while I'm taking it, turn the fan on in the bathroom.
And then I hear this from the bedroom. Oh my god!
Oh, yeah, I'll hear that, but I'm in the appropriate place.
Yeah. I mean, I can't help it. It's going to happen, but I don't do it in front of her.
I mean, every once in a while, like you're sick or something, or in bed, and it's like, oh, I'm sorry.
It's the morning bugle.
It's reveille.
or when you let out that big sneeze and you can't help it. You're like, oh crap! I didn't mean to do that. Oh, I
hope not. Oh crap! When
I don't know
you do
why.
that.
I'm incredibly comfortable with my wife. I my wife,
Steve's wife.
incredibly. I mean, obviously, we've been together for years, but
Yeah, the other
I don't feel
orifice,
that's right.
like, we'll belch like sailors.
Oh, yeah.
Back and forth.
Absolutely.
Like window rattlers. Mostly her.
Absolutely, but I feel very uncomfortable breaking wind.
See, it was so open with my husband and I that we actually had to pass a weapons treaty. So there's no illegal gas attacks happening.
Yeah, but you are.
There's no Dutch ovening allowed. You guys know what that is, right?
Yes.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
We had to. It was actually written down for a little while. I did it more as a joke. We wrote it down and hung it on the wall for a while. But
Oh, for some reason, it just popped into my head. The two steamers. There's a Cleveland steamer, and what's the other one?
Boston.
Boston's the one with the glass table, right?
sure.
Cleveland is just straight on the chest.
I think the EDR has a Cleveland steamer.
I believe they do. Yes.
I think there was a fly on it.
Ain't that a bunch of shit?
What about you, Billy? When you're how long?
Yeah. Do you fart in front of your right hand?
My left hand.
Oh, okay. Do you hide it? You're like, hey, go in the pocket for a minute. Oh, I'm sorry. What is that smell?
Reach in there. You might find a banana next to my shoes.
No, I'll walk away. I mean, with anybody, anywhere, not even in front of like friends or anything.
I feel like
He's a gentleman.
especially if you know it's going to be smelling. That's not something you do.
I did that at work tonight. I waited for Steve to leave the room.
He did. You're much better than some of our other coworkers who just kind of like, I wouldn't walk behind me while I'm pulling this rope.
Yeah.
Why not? Oh my God.
And then I got caught up in it because I didn't realize two people were coming back into the room. Like,
They-
oh no.
Crop dust everybody.
No. They know who they are now. It stinks back here.
Foul.
Why are people passing out?
You've killed an entire army. Good for you.
Stop.
It's like
everyone out of the building.
It's like North Korea down there in your gut.
So is that what happened yesterday?
Sorry, everybody. Sorry about the 30-minute show stop.
The lifts just wouldn't move anymore.
Stop working.
It was an issue with the gas. The heavier gas coming out of Matthew was leaking down into the pit, and the pressure was pushing down.
Airdrop.
Nothing could displace it.
The canary died.
Oh yeah. Canary never had a chance.
Oh my God. But yeah, so that was my question, whether or not you guys felt so. We're at about a 50-50 split. Not counting Billy, because Billy is not in a long-term relationship, but he has been ish. But he states that he never farted in front of the person.
I was like that at first, but then it just got comfortable. I was like, screw it. Like, why hurt myself? Sorry.
Well, do you want to go the next step?
Do you shit with the door open?
Yeah,
That was the next question.
No.
Oh, all the time.
Never.
While the other person is getting ready.
Oh my God.
Really?
Yeah, all the time. I'll be on the toilet and John come in to brush his teeth.
Now hold on. And
flavored.
Minty shit.
Well, it's not like I'm pointing my ass at him while he's brushing his teeth.
But wait a minute.
There's a seal around the seat.
Wait a minute, though. In your situation, it wouldn't be a far stretch.
That's true.
I mean, kind of like, between love and business is a very fine line for that.
Yeah, that's probably true. There is also a pretty good stretch that has to happen there, Steve.
Okay.
I mean, I don't stay open for business all the time. So when it does happen, you got to warm up the equipment.
That's where we differ.
Yeah.
Oh my God!
They know the ins and outs of each other. It's great.
Mostly outs. Mostly outs.
Sounds like the outs. Yeah.
And just like that, it's over.
Moving on.
You remember that commercial on SNL where they had the love toilet where they're like
with
facing each other?
So wrong.
There's nothing wrong with it. It's natural.
Let's turn the fan on. Close the door. Let them match.
The nice thing about it, though, is I can't reach the fan from the toilet, and if he's in there, he'll turn it on for me.
Oh, that's sweet.
Oh, how about a courtesy flush there?
Right?
Right?
Kyle, what do you got on the plate there? Let's get off this subject.
Next subject.
What a shitty topic.
One of the questions one of the topics that I wanted to talk about was what is something that makes you like irrationally angry?
Oh, thank God! I thought he was gonna say erect.
What is one of the topics? What is something that makes you irrationally erect?
Ooh.
Everything.
Billy.
Actually, that's my answer for the real question.
Oh.
Everything makes me irrationally angry.
Because I was going to say the thing that drives me absolutely nuts is traffic. Like the way that other people drive.
You are irrational about that.
I am by no means the world's best driver. I make mistakes, but I am at the very least courteous when I drive.
Well, yeah, because you're in front of everybody.
That's true. I'm speeding past everyone. It's very easy to be courteous when there's nobody else on the road, but I try. If somebody's trying to get over, if you have to merge, I'll slow down and let somebody merge, and but it drives me nuts. Wait, did I just drive past?
Yeah, that was you.
How did I do that?
Here comes Billy.
I would say grammar mistakes on television make me irrationally angry.
You actually have a pretty good story about that, right?
Which one? Oh,
one with
yeah. The attorney?
Yeah.
Yeah. A local attorney, ambulance chaser guy. One of the guys. No, not that guy. A different one. I was watching his commercial, and now I can't remember. It's a really...
Wait, how did you know who he's talking about?
You don't have to get specific.
No, it's a really
What he just
nice
said.
commercial. It was put together very well. And then it got to the end. I can't remember what word it was, but there was a word that was just blatantly spelled wrong. And I'm like, what the fuck? I'm like, that's bullshit. So I called him. So I called the attorney and I said, hey, listen, your commercial looks great. Sounds great. It's put together very well. Your shit's misspelled. And I left it on the answering machine. And his secretary called me back within like 15 minutes. And she goes, I have this guy on the line. The actual attorney wants to talk to you. I'm like, oh, okay. So he's like, so I saw what you said. So I called the editors. They're going to make that change. And I really appreciate it. He goes, what did you really think of the commercial? I'm like, it was good. It was actually, I bought into it. It wasn't like a cheesy one. It was put together very well. He goes, awesome. I really appreciate you calling. So if you ever need help out of a ticket or anything, this one's on me. I'm like, sweet. I got that in my pocket.
Have you used it?
Not yet.
No.
It's because Matthew doesn't speed anywhere, so he doesn't get any tickets.
Right? What the hell are you doing?
Play with new sound effects.
Oh, boy.
Oh, man.
We're trying to do content here.
You're just going to hate yourself in the morning.
These sound effects are really bad. I mean, some of them.
So you have no answer except sound effects for what makes you irrationally angry?
Do you guys really want to know what makes me
I can
irrationally
tell
angry?
you what's making me irrationally angry. It's that damn soundboard.
Yeah.
That was easy.
What makes me irrationally angry? I think other people should go first. Billy.
What? You did. Two of us
No, I
did.
said Billy.
Oh, Billy.
What makes Billy irrationally angry? I'm very interested because Billy's a very mellow guy.
He is.
We're putting him on the spot.
Oh,
Don't worry, I can edit the spot out.
Well, I've thought about it.
yes.
Because you guys gave a heads up that this might be on the test. And,
Being put on the spot.
I used to have a temper problem. Especially when I was younger, I used to get angry a lot. And I hated myself for it. Like every time you like start to relax and calm down, you hate everything you did, how you reacted.
You realize what you did. Yeah.
Yeah. And I start to just beat myself up over it. Like, oh, why did I do that? Why do I get so angry? Like, I would fight with my sister all the time. And like everything she did just made me so angry. She would call me names or something and it just made me so angry. Like I couldn't help it.
What's the solution? Weed.
No. No.
Had to think about it though. Had to think about it.
Well, I didn't know if that was that time period, but it was before I started figuring it out. Yeah, I just used to have a real temper problem, and I just started realizing that if usually people get angry because they don't know. They're scared. They don't like if you see a lady in the grocery store yelling at the people for something that wrong happened to her. She's just angry and attacking. She's only doing that because she doesn't know the correct way to approach it. So she thinks getting mad and angry is the way to handle it because she doesn't know any better. So she's just mad because she doesn't know how to handle it, instead of going in and asking politely and listening to what they have to say and then accepting everything. You know, it's just...
Are you replacing you with the lady at the grocery store here?
Replacing?
Or the other way, replacing the lady at the grocery store with you in this story? Like, you got mad at things because you didn't really understand.
Asking for a friend.
Careful, careful! You're making Billy irrationally angry.
Why is he turning green?
Yeah, like you would think about it later and you're like, oh, okay, I get it. You know, I didn't realize what I was thinking. I was just upset. I was mad. I didn't understand his side of the story. And so I got mad at that person because I didn't understand it. Like, you guys get mad at traffic and stuff, and sometimes it's not their fault, that person that you're mad at.
True.
You know, like, you do stupid shit and people are mad at you, but you accept what you did wrong, but they don't see your side. So they're angry.
Kyle does stupid shit all the time.
I do a lot of stupid shit.
You know, so I start to just think about, well,
A lot of it makes me angry.
maybe where's the other person?
Oh my God, I just realized what you were trying to do, Matthew, and I totally forgot about it.
What was he trying to do? That was weird.
The theme music.
Oh,
I totally
finally
forgot.
took you a while. What about you?
When
Randy.
people tell me to calm down.
Calm down.
Yeah, I hate that.
Calm down, man.
You know, you're upset,
Jesus
you know, you want to vent
Christ.
a little bit or whatever.
Hey,
Like,
settle down.
calm down. Just calm down.
Wait,
I'll
wait.
fucking punch you in the goddamn face. Tell me to calm down.
Hey, Randy.
Yeah. Calm down, dude.
Why is the music playing?
It wasn't Thriller music playing.
Sorry.
Whoops.
Oh, stupid auto advance.
Stupid heavens. I got one job. I couldn't even do that.
Hey,
The reason I made
settle
you
down over there, all right?
Hey.
calm down.
Jesus.
The reason I made you all say that before me is because I don't know. Right now, everything is making me irrationally angry. You know, it's what happens when your life is falling apart around you.
That's true.
Yeah. So
Maybe that's why Kyle brought it up.
No, not specifically. That one's actually been in my list for 5 or 6 months. So
I mean, I'm typically a pretty angry guy at the flip of a dime, but lately it's been even more so.
What?
I apologize to anyone that I've pissed off, but it's going to keep happening for a while. Nothing I can do about that. Except I don't feel bad about it. So normally, sometimes I do a little. Just I'm too angry, and then I get angry because I'm angry.
You might make somebody angry with your anger.
It happens. Right now, I'm on a path of self-destruction. Besides the wonderful, fun entertainment that I do on a podcast. So the fact that if anyone is going to get mad at me for something like that, then my mental state is like, okay, fine, bye. Which is bad.
It's terrible.
Smart enough to know that, but as of right now, it's kind of like push everybody away so that when you go down, you don't take anybody with you. If that makes any sense. It doesn't make any sense, but
listen, Steve, I want you to know something. There's enough room on the door for Rose and Jack.
I know
It's true.
What the fuck?
Right? There's plenty of room on there.
God damn it, just move over.
The buoyancy, it's Mythbusters has proven this. There's plenty of room on there.
I don't think so.
Oh, sorry.
I don't think so.
What?
What, I missed something.
I got my.
Shit.
I was going to say
was agreeing with
Mythbusters.
you.
Oh,
I was going to say Mythbusters did that whole myth.
Yeah.
What's that, Billy?
I'm missing something.
We're talking about Titanic, the movie.
Yeah.
Oh. It was
That there wasn't enough room on the
Eat it, Billy. Eat the microphone.
enough room on the
Ball
door.
end closer to your mouth.
I'm gonna have a fat lip tomorrow.
Did I hit you? Oh, I'm sorry.
I chipped a tooth.
I am sorry. I do feel bad about that.
No, you don't.
No, you don't.
I do. I shoved the ball in his mouth.
Oh, he didn't
was
even ask him.
Oh, I know.
You mushroom stamped him right on the lip.
Wow.
Yeah.
You just want to watch me drool.
Yeah.
Billy's going to come to work tomorrow with his lip also. Hey, guys, what's going on?
And he's not even going to be angry about it. Because he's learned to control his anger.
Right?
Yeah, because you know what? If I would have done it to somebody else fucking around, you know,
That's probably true.
and I wouldn't want them mad at me.
It would be, though.
Deep breaths.
I had a chipped tooth from somebody fucking around with a glass. Slapped the back of my head while I was trying to take a sip out of a glass bottle while we were driving
Oh,
the
I
car.
do that to myself.
Yeah, and then you just did it to Billy.
I know. Well, the ball end of that microphone is very
Why
soft.
would you do that? No, it's not. It's
I know. Did I really hurt you?
hurt him.
it pinched. It
Good.
pinched.
Battle scar.
It's a little sore.
You're right. I don't feel bad.
I'm sure I deserved it somehow. Really.
Keep laying it on, Billy. It's really sore.
What's
Bruised.
The other day I got a flat tire on my truck. I went to the store, came back, got a flat tire. Immediately just pulled over.
Oh, those nails
got out the
finally
spare,
worked.
and changed the tire, then continued home. Luckily I had a spare, but I didn't get angry. Like the old Billy would have been kicking the fuck out of tire.
Right.
And I would have hurt my foot.
Your foot, yeah.
And
You've controlled yourself. That's wisdom.
I controlled everything and made it so I didn't make anything worse. Because I was able to focus and just get the job done and continue home.
Right.
Yeah, my heart rate goes up. I'm
That's like
flustered.
yelling at kids. Like,
flustered, but
doesn't do any good.
I don't get angry anymore because,
But eventually,
what did that solve?
They'll learn.
it doesn't. It doesn't. But eventually, you like explode. You got to get it out of your system.
I was riding my other bike today. I lost the oil drain bolt on the way home, and my rear tire was just slipping around because the oil was just
Oil slick, activate.
it was I thought the rear tire
Wait,
was
not on
flat.
me.
You're having some issues.
Oh yeah,
Well, you have a good excuse to be angry.
I didn't get mad. I was just thankful I got home. Then I didn't fucking blow the motor.
It's not that guy. Not angry.
Have you found
Thankful.
your Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ? He was behind the couch the whole time.
So I jumped on my other bike and rode here. I'll deal with that tomorrow.
All right.
All right.
Are you trying to trigger Billy over here?
Me?
Yeah.
No.
It's harder to do than that.
Yeah.
I'm not trying to make you mad.
Well, you just gotta yell, "Hey, old Silver!" Is that how you trigger?
Right? That's trigger. It's a different horse.
Different show.
Different cowboy.
You know what makes me angry?
Well,
When people disagree with my viewpoints on a podcast and then don't have the balls to send us an email about it, now they can call and bitch to me in person.
It's a direct
They can
line.
call area code
There it is again.
702-979-4584.
And just wait for
It's a-
the beat.
country code
Leave your
1
name,
for our
leave your
international
number.
listeners.
That's true.
I wonder, the hell does what's on here?
Hi, you've reached Steve's sex
Yeah,
line.
what's the message?
If
Let's
you're
leave
a man,
message
press
right now.
0. If
For our
you're a
German
woman,
listener,
press
please
2.
call.
Hello, and thank you for
and
calling
leave
the
him a
Talkaround
message in
Show,
German.
not your typical podcast. Leave a message at the tone, and we will get back to you as soon as we can.
No,
Thank
let's
you.
redo it.
When did you record that?
Let's redo
I have
it right
no
now.
idea. I guess I did already.
Let's make a new one right now.
Steve was high.
Go ahead, make a new one. It's not like I can't. Not like it's not audio.
That's your phone.
Well, yeah, but I don't have to do it live on the phone. I don't know.
Oh, we just record it and then you do it later.
I believe
It's
I can.
almost like he can just pull things out of audio.
Yeah.
Out of audio.
Out of the audios.
So weird.
What do you guys think? Should we take a quick break?
Yeah, I think we
Everybody
should
can
take
stretch their legs.
Yeah, blow my nose. The allergies.
I can
are killing
fart
me.
outside because apparently I can't do it in front of you guys anymore.
You do whatever you want.
Yeah.
You know what makes me irrationally angry?
What's that?
People that just like fart right next to you and have no consideration for the fact that you are right there.
Yeah.
You needed it that one day in the elevator, though.
Oh, that was terrible.
Well, you guys were in there for.
No, not that time.
Not that time.
Oh, that's not the time you guys got
What?
stuff.
Calm down.
Tell me to calm down.
Let's take a break. We'll be back in just a moment.
Tell Randy to calm down.
Yeah, Randy needs to get down.
What?
Thank you for listening to the Talkaround Show. We're proud to announce that we are fundraising for the Trevor Project, and would be honored if you would visit our fundraising page, which can be found via our website at thetalkaroundshow.com. Please take a moment to visit thetrevorproject.org for more on what this great charity is doing and what it hopes to achieve. Thank you again. Now back to the Talkaround Show.
Fear not, my friends. This will be my greatest performance.
Give it to me.
Here we go. We came, we saw, we kicked its ass.
Welcome back to the Talkaround Show.
That was beautiful. That was nice.
That was nice. Huh? I stole that.
Sounded different.
Does it come in blue?
Spacier.
Yes, please donate to the Trevor Project.
Oh, yeah, that's probably what that commercial was, huh?
That's probably what I'm going to put
I mean,
in there.
that's what that commercial was for sure.
Didn't you hear it?
I did, yes.
No, I'll fix it in post. I hope I remember to put that commercial here. So let's get right back into things.
Okay.
All right. Kyle, what was topic number 2?
Oh,
of
boy.
the
Do you
I'm
want to
Too
do the one
Lazy?
that I sent out earlier?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
I don't care. Do whatever you want. Everyone you
No,
want.
we'll do that one. I wasn't sure. Nobody.
And this is going to be this is going to be a good one because we can circle around back to the conversation we had the other day about the top 5 songs of whatever genre we were talking about.
Oh, yes.
I definitely remember that and have not forgotten it. But why don't one of you remind everyone else?
Well, no, we'll get.
Okay, we'll get there,
come
we'll get
around to it.
He wants to
We're gonna
start with a jerk around it.
Yeah, okay. He wants to circle
We're
jerk.
gonna start with your question.
The question that I had was, what got you interested in the music that you're interested in? Specifically, what did your parents or other adults listen to? How did that influence your tastes? And when and how did you break away from that?
Too many parts.
I know, I'm sorry. Basically, just, because I was thinking about this the other day because I just got a new record player. And
Like vinyl?
Yeah.
They still make those?
they do.
Wow.
In fact,
Good
they've
for
gotten
you.
even nicer.
Ooh.
Sadly,
Are you a hipster?
no. I waited long enough that it's not hipstery.
Oh, okay.
Had I gotten into vinyl 5 years ago, everyone would have been like, douchebag.
How did the hipster burn his tongue? He drank his coffee before it was cool.
You know who the first hipster was?
No.
You probably never heard of him.
Wow, what a dick.
Obscure.
But anyways, getting this record player brought back a whole bunch of memories because when I was really small and learning to read, like 3 or 4, 5 years old, I would look in weird places to find things to read. So I would read.
What's this in my ass?
Yeah, exactly. Mary Shelley's Frankenstein. What are you doing in there? No, but like one of the things that I found when I was small was my parents' record collection, and I didn't think at the time they had a record player because we didn't listen to records at home. Usually, it was a cassette or the radio or whatever. But I would read the vinyl sleeves, so and it was weird as a kid because it's like they spelled monkeys wrong. That's the right. It's the band
correct.
name.
Did you call up the band and place a complaint and they called you back and offered you?
I would have.
to take care of free tickets from
I should have.
Yeah.
That would have been a good idea.
Work for Matthew.
Yeah, free ticket to our show.
But yeah, so I read, all of those, and finally, after doing that for over and over and over again for several months, one day I said something to my dad about, what is this? What is this? What kind of music is this? What does this sound like? And he was like, well, we can find a record player. I have a record player. It just doesn't have a needle. And I was like, oh, cool. So I got his old hi-fi setup out when I was like 5 and figured out how to put it all together. And then I was like, we have to get a needle for this. Where do we get a needle for this?
Definitely not a hipster. It's a stylist.
Right.
You're
Well, whatever.
kindergarten putting together
Yeah, I was like
a
5.
record player.
Yeah, well, it's
Hi-fi.
red to red, white to white.
He's versatile.
Yeah, it's easy.
Billy, I took an oscilloscope to show and tell in kindergarten.
Yeah.
Nerds.
Yeah.
But anyways, put it all together and I was like, we have to get a needle. I want to buy a needle. And I had like $30 to my name at the time. And I'm
Can't
like,
ride a bicycle, but I could fucking put together a record player.
Where'd you have $30 from?
birthdays, Christmases, saving money up.
Man, your family's rich.
Saving
right?
money
Man.
at 5?
Yeah. Anyways,
My mom would have said she's going to hang on to it, and then I never see it
I
again.
was blowing that money on baseball cards the second I got it.
Yeah,
See, I
Big
was-
League Chew you can get for $30.
what's crazy is when I was a kid, I was always a saver. I would save it up and buy something big that I wanted. And as an adult, I'm just like, yeah, motherfucker.
Making it
Dollar
rain.
bills.
Hey, Mom, what happened to my $30? Oh, son. I don't know.
You must have spent it. Remember that thing you wanted at the
Oh,
store?
right, yeah.
Yeah, it's gone.
Oh, okay.
You spent it already.
Anyways, we
Okay.
went and bought a needle, which ended up being about $80 at the time.
What the hell did you buy?
It was the only needle we could find in all of
You're
Salt
not
Lake
supposed
City.
to share them.
It was
program, though.
Excuse me, the only stylus we could find in all of Salt Lake.
$80?
$80, and this was
Jesus.
This would have been 1990.
Man, it took a lot of time for technology to get to Utah.
I had to
Yeah,
buy
apparently.
I had to buy a replacement stylus for my stereo from the 50s, and that stylus
Yeah.
only cost me
Oh,
$19.
They're incredibly cheap again now, so I don't know what the hell the deal was, but
Thanks, Radio Shack.
Because usually hipsters make things more expensive.
yeah. Thankfully, my dad was nice enough to be like, you know what, it's on me. Bought it, took it home. He put it on for me, and I actually got to start listening to records.
Needless to say, you got it working.
That were all his records and my mom's records, and so it was a lot of
I tried. I'm sorry.
rock, Elton John, Night at the Opera, Queen. Fantastic album. That was the one I
That's a good
just.
album. It's good.
I now have my own copy of that. Well, that's actually, this would be the, if you count the copy they had, this is the 4th time I've owned that album on vinyl.
Why?
So there was their copy that either my mom or dad had, probably my dad. And then when I got older, I still was really into vinyl, and that happened to be one of the albums that I owned. And then I ruined it because it dropped and took a big chunk out of the corner of it. So I bought it again. And then when I sold my vinyl collection several years ago, I didn't have it for a long time. And then when I got this new record player, that was the album that I wanted to pop the record player's cherry on.
You know, you could have just saved money by only
Downloading it.
I have like a digital copy of it
buying
too.
it
So
the one time and not selling your collection.
yeah, that
just
was
to rebuy
well,
stuff.
Everybody makes mistakes, Matthew.
So, Kyle, you have recently purchased a new record player?
It came Thursday. Thursday was the day that it arrived.
So, I have some records for you.
Ooh.
When we moved into our house, for some strange reason, we got this package in the mail for the previous owners. Mm-hmm. And it's a U2 Joshua Tree.
Hold on. Why is he getting them?
Because he hasn't really listened to them. Remember the whole episode?
Yeah, we did. We had a
talked
discussion
Joshua
about how
Trees?
I've never listened to it as an album.
But so now I got it on record.
And
I
no
will bring
record
it to-
player.
I will bring it to you tomorrow.
That's fantastic.
We can share.
Yeah,
I'm feeling
I'll let
irrationally
you,
angry.
Matthew, I'll let you come over and you can listen to it with me.
You hold hands.
Yeah. Anyways, that was kind of how I absorbed a lot of my parents' music. Was just from that
Now, has
whole
that followed
experience.
through? Or you still obviously
I
you're
still
into
listen to
that?
a lot of like 60s and 70s rock, and a lot of like after that I kind of followed it into like 80s hair metals. And weirdly, my mom listened to a whole lot of like pop music from the 70s and 80s.
Talk about
so pop music.
Pop music.
Including that song, actually, that she had on a cassette somewhere.
By M.
But yeah,
God, I wish I
was
knew where my old cassettes
I'm
were.
sorry to interrupt.
that's okay.
Oh, you're making me irrationally angry.
All right. So talking about records and stuff, I just figured I'd give a shout out that my friend and his family owns Wax Trax Records.
Oh, cool.
Get out of here.
And so
National
you should-
Record Store
you should
Day is
check it
coming
out.
up.
Is it?
Yeah, it's I believe it's in April when a bunch of bands release special editions of stuff, and you can only get them at smaller record stores. You can't get them at like big chain places.
Are we going to hear that day on headset and during check-in?
Probably.
okay.
Happy National Record Store Day,
Look
everybody.
it up. I think I want to say it's Saturday, April.
It is in 21 days,
Okay.
but it doesn't tell me the actual date. That's kind of stupid.
All right, so we're gonna give a free plug to Wax Trax Records. Wax Trax. No.
April 13th.
And it's waxtraxonline.com. WAXTRAX.
Rush is releasing a couple things that I'm going to go pick up. So now I'll go to their place.
Yeah.
A friend
I'll go
of
to theirs.
Billy's. It's their fault. It's his fault. It's his fault.
It's funny. They
Do
I
they
don't know if it
listen?
was like last year or whatever, but like Elton John is went in there, and like he's now like good friends with them.
That's
Oh.
cool.
Like they got a bunch of pictures that they post all the time.
Do they listen to the podcast?
Probably not. It's on.
you got to go in and start plugging us, Billy.
Let's listen to us.
Just write us down on a piece of paper and put it on the bulletin board.
corkboard.
Yeah.
He's got a couple of podcasts. I can't remember the name.
There is,
He talks about movies.
There is one other weird
We
tangent that
talk
sort
about
of came
E.T.
into my musical experience. My grandfather, my dad's dad, his name is Ed. He's still alive. He's 93. He listened to organ music
Yeah.
and classical music. Like from the time he grew up in St. Louis, Missouri, and he used to be the symphony there on, I think it was Fridays. They would practice during the day for their concert that night, and it was open to the public if you were under the age of 18 or you met certain qualifications. He went every single week his entire life from the time he was 4 or 5 until he joined the army. Joined the Navy. So
That's impressive.
yeah, his knowledge of classical music is just like you can name a piece and he's like, oh, are you talking about the Boston Philharmonic performance from 1972 or the
Directed by Leonard Bernstein.
such and such a the Miami performance from the
Boston
whatever.
Pops.
Yeah,
Arthur
it's
Fiedler.
nuts. I could never keep up with him, but because of that, I also collected a whole bunch of organ music. Giggity. Classical music, weird, like Esquivel type of like weird music.
Yes.
Here's my thing though. Classical music, I think, is actually better in the digital realm
I would actually agree with you.
because of the nuance, the dynamics, and so forth. Whereas rock music primarily, even though the reasons I believe are silly, I do think nostalgically it's better on vinyl.
I would totally
There's
agree
a
with
way
you.
that everything's recorded. Like when it's individual tracks, nothing's compressed the way it is for now on like iTunes and stuff like that. It's all compressed, and so you don't hear the.
Well, yeah, but I'm not even getting into MP3 or AAC or whatever compression. I
Yeah,
mean,
MP3.
like uncompressed, good old CD quality DDD. If anybody remembers what that means.
No.
I totally agree with you. I think that listening to like a symphony on a CD or in a pure digital format, it's going to sound way better than just about any other way to do it, unless you're sitting live in front of the symphony, obviously.
DVD, recorded in digital, mixed in digital, mastered in digital.
That's correct. That was a big thing back when
I don't
CDs
know
were
anything
first.
about audio. Sorry.
Yeah. that was a big thing when CDs first started coming out. They had that DDD or
ADD.
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 AAD.
It's still I still think one of the biggest. I have very few regrets in life, but one of them was selling my vinyl collection because I had 488 albums.
Jeez.
And I sold it for $500.
You idiot!
I know. I was moving. I was like, vinyl's done. And the thing that really pissed me off too is I later found out the person that I sold it to that was like, oh yeah, I really want to listen to music on vinyl. Took it all and traded it for a car.
Now here's a funny thing, Billy, because you had mentioned the compression. Just so you know, technically, vinyl is actually more compressed than CD.
Nerd.
By nature. First of all, you can't have much low end in vinyl for multiple reasons. So it's actually got a low end filter.
It would jump all over the place.
Yeah, it would knock the needle out of the tracks if it was too rough. Also,
is that because the speaker was connected to it?
No. If the
the waveform is too big for the track itself, so it's
if it gets too low, the needle can't track in the groove anymore. But also, you're joking, but you're kind of right, because a big problem they had was if there was too much low frequency, the turntable would feed back with your speakers on the low end, because your speakers would move air and the platter of the turntable would pick that up like a microphone almost and reproduce it, and you'd get low end feedback. So they tried to filter that out. Also, to keep things in the track so the needle didn't jump all over the place, it did go through a lot of processing and dynamics and compression.
That's the RIA curve, right?
That is correct. The old RIA vinyl curve. So CDs were a big thing because they didn't have to be compressed that much.
I think Matt just passed out.
That's fine. He could pass out every now and then.
Is that why they're round? Because of all the curves they have to go through?
Ooh.
Yes.
Let's go with that.
Yes.
We'll go with that.
Matthew.
What?
Whatever Kyle's question was, go ahead and answer it.
Where did it come from? I mean, we're sitting in this garage surrounded by Rush memorabilia.
Yep.
I think that there's some Toad the Wet Sprocket stuff in that box over there.
Yeah.
Box.
Where did this all come from?
What is your influence, my friend?
It wasn't my parents. It was my older brother. My brother is 8.5 years older than me.
I was going to say,
so
that's
when he
pretty
was, he influenced everything. He's only 8 now. So when he was 16, I was 7.5, and he used to do his homework in the basement, and the basement is where all my toys were. So that's where I used to go down and play. So he'd be down there doing homework at his desk, and he'd have Styx and Foreigner and Kansas and Rush and Jethro Tull and King Crimson and Pink Floyd and Genesis and all this stuff just piping through all the time.
Classic rock.
So I was listening to it all the time, and it seeped in, and I gravitated more towards Rush and more progressive elements for a long time. When he went to college, I kind of started to listen to other things. And it really depended on, I started to listen to a lot of jazz, a lot of Miles Davis and stuff like that, because that's what I was playing drums to. So I listened to a lot of jazz, started to listen to hair metal towards the mid 80s, and it always depended on whatever crowd I happened to be hanging with at the time. So I would listen to, if I was with like jocks and stuff, especially in that time, if I was sporting events and stuff, we were listening to metal. And if I was with my other musician friends, we were probably listening to anything alternative at the moment. The Cure, Dead Kennedy, stuff like that.
Depeche Mode.
Yeah. Yeah. So my parents listened to a lot of Neil Sedaka, Neil Diamond, the Neils. Roger Whittaker, a lot of stuff like that.
The Carpenters.
Yeah. Some classical. They kind of skipped over the Beatles and stuff because they had been in high school at the advent of rock and roll. So
they were more stoned than Beatles.
No, they didn't listen to any of that. My mom got a pretty good education just from walking by my bedroom. Like one day it's a Chili Peppers playing, and the next day
there's a tube sock flying in your face.
Sweaty bloody tube sock.
So, it was pretty complete educations. I listened to just about everything back through those days. And
yeah, I guess my see, I was the older brother, and it kind of like just made me a little misty listening to your story because our age difference was the same as yours, but opposite. You know,
You're only 8 years old?
I was. Yeah, I was about I was about 7.5, 8 years older than him. So I can only imagine that I had some kind of influence on him, but that's neither here nor there. What I remember growing up, my father would, especially on Saturday mornings, man, every Saturday morning, I'd wake up to him sitting in the living room. He had a very cool, he really loved his music. He had a very cool stereo. And he'd wake up and he'd listen to him playing Styx and Heart and Foreigner and whatever the classic rock staples were, Queen. And it was just, you'd wake up to that. And, you know, my bleary-eyed self, little peanut I was, would go walking into the living room and he'd be laying back on the couch with his eyes closed, listening to, you know, Grand Illusion.
good record.
Whatever.
Yeah, it is.
Whatever he was doing. It was really, that was my exposure to that. My mother was into the oldies, which now means something different than it did then.
Wow.
But, you know, so, and she always had, there was a radio in the kitchen. And whenever she was in there, she had that playing. So I got a very good young education of that stuff.
Oh, we don't laugh at you when you say that.
Yeah, you can. I didn't say she walked by my bedroom door.
Bedrooms were adjacent. She had to walk by the door.
Yeah,
I didn't say the door was open.
Okay.
That makes it worse.
The speakers were loud.
But she
That
would
also
listen to that.
makes it
You know, 101 CBS FM, New York. Yeah, I remember it very clearly. It was the oldie station. And I never got into that, but I was made aware of who sang what was on, what was big, all these different bands. And then later on, when I was getting into high school and so forth, my mother and father started a DJ company.
Oh boy.
They were oldies DJs. which sounds funny, but it was actually quite popular for a little while there.
Were they rocking around the clock?
They called the company Rock On.
Oh, maybe the inspiration for the SNL skit.
Yeah, maybe they
They're
were.
kind of a
Will
blue jean beauty.
Listening to some oldies.
Yeah,
We're gonna kick it up a notch with some Glenn Miller Orchestra.
I hated
The one
it.
and the two and
Oh, you'd have to, and back then, you got to understand, this was before MP3s or anything, so there was the CD era, but you know, they'd go do a gig at the VFW in town. The VFW was on the VFW was on the third floor of this building.
Oh,
and my father would make me go and help him carry his homemade DJ speakers. And, you know, my father was a freaking technical genius. So they were really good speakers, but they were homemade and they weighed a ton. And we'd have to carry them up the stairs. And then we'd have to carry the boxes of CDs. Because he had them all in cases. Had to keep the jewel cases with him. So that you could read. Had to carry all that up and all the equipment and the CD players and the mixers and everything. And I'm like, I don't want to do this because I was young and stupid. And you know, those were the days of pain. I mean, I look back and I miss it. I would do it all again in a second. But back then, man, I hated my existence. Why are you I want to go out with my friends. I didn't have any friends. So
When they go try to make
it's
friends.
very sad. I didn't actually, and that leads me to the next thing. So here I was. My father would listen to the classic rock. My mother would listen to the oldies. I grew up in I don't know if I've ever mentioned this in the podcast before or not, but I grew up in a very rough section of town. I could see the wall of Sing Sing prison from my back porch. If that means anything to anyone, the proximity wise. So
It means you were close to that prison.
yes, and it also means that
Close enough to see the prison.
and it also means that
Yeah, great
growing
view.
up in my neighborhood, I was a
That
minority.
prison.
I mean, nothing bad about that. I was the oddball, and at that point, when I had friends and so forth, and they were all very interested in R&B and hip hop, which gave me that exposure. So here I am listening to LL Cool J and Fat Boys and Run DMC. Oh, the Fat Boys were awesome.
Their movies. Oh my god, the Fat Boys movies. I tried watching all of them.
I can't remember any of them. I blocked them out. But that gave me that exposure. And then once I started high school and I started drifting away from that, we had a radio station. And the radio station gave me more exposure to a wider gamut of musical influences. And that's where the hair metal and so forth. I remember feeling like such a rebel sitting up in the... I used to hang out in the attic. It was an unfinished attic that my father let me go.
Did you do a rebel yell?
I did a Guns N' Roses.
Oh.
Because they said fuck.
Oh. Yeah.
And I would crank that so loud. That old man is a real motherfucker. Ooh. Did you hear that, Mom and Dad?
Mr. Brownstone?
Oh, I loved it. Loved it.
Doing the shitty Axl Rose dance.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So good.
Oh, that's going on camera.
I wish it was running.
Rub-a-dub-dub. But yeah, so that's it. And that's all that.
Can anyone do the Axl Rose scream?
No. Including Axl Rose now.
I was thinking about trying it, and then I was like, no.
Wow. And then to top it all off, now I have also with my wife. She's all into that. What do you call it? New wave, Depeche Mode, Smiths,
Yeah.
Cure.
It's not new wave anymore.
No, now it's old
The
wave.
new old wave. Classic new wave. How about that?
First wave is
there
what
you
the
go.
station
That's
is on
on
XM.
What the hell did you just do?
You got horn your lips?
I don't know. There's a little. I tried to take a sip out of my. I have a soda pop here with a straw, and apparently I kept the pressure going for a second.
I don't want to get anybody in trouble, but another one that story you talking about your dad listening to records and stuff when he would wake you up with them. Basically, that was what inspired me to ask this question. But there was another story you were talking about when you worked at the radio station, where you would get tapes.
Oh no, nobody's gonna get in trouble.
Okay, I just want to make sure it wasn't like he still works for them or something like that.
Oh no, he's long gone. But MTV is not even in New York anymore. But when MTV was young and I was in high school and their studios were in New York, my uncle used to work on the production crew for the contracted third-party production company. But what he used to do is walk up and down the hallway at the end of the day, and they used to get all the promo albums mailed to the offices, unsolicited promos. Nobody wanted to hear them, so they would just get them and put them out next to their office door, next to the trash bin for them to be thrown away. So my uncle would walk up the hallway and collect all these promo and demo things, just drive up to our house once a week and say, "Hey, Stevie, I got these for you." So I used to bring them all to the radio station. We had so much cool shit long before it came out. We were cranking, and weird things would happen too, because we were in the Metro New York area, and there is the possibility that someone might have been listening. And what used to prove it is, like, I got the Skid Row album before it was out on the radio. Skid Row was nothing yet, right? It was still a demo. So I brought it to the radio station. I'd pop it on, and we started playing Youth Gone Wild. Like, this is the best song on this album. The next thing you know, Skid Row breaks on through with Youth Gone Wild. Well, okay, now we're bored of that, so let's start playing something else. Let's play, what was the other one? 18 in Life.
18 in Life.
So we started playing 18 in Life. Next thing you know, they topped the charts with 18 in Life. It's their next single.
And these were all in the trash at you.
Yeah, so we're like, let's try playing the ballad, because nobody's going to put the ballad on popular radio. Let's try playing this I Remember You song. We'd play it out on the radio station all the time. We'd all make out to it while it was playing. Not the guys. I mean, I'm sure there were some. Wait. But dude, it was big to do back then. We were young. We were teenagers. We were at a radio station. It was We had no friends. But
You know, the sexiest thing for a teenager is radio.
it actually worked pretty well for us back then. But anyway, so we started playing I Remember You. Next thing you know, freaking it came on Z100, the top 40 station in town. They started playing I Remember You, which, by the way, with the top 40 compression on radio, was the worst sounding crap. They have that acoustic, that nice dynamic acoustic intro. Full compression in New York radio market. Ugh. And then it would kick in and just slam down the volume of it. Oh, it was horrible. But we're like, what the hell is going on? Well, let's do something crazy. And we started playing Trip at the Brain by Suicidal Tendencies. That was another one of the demo albums we got. That didn't make it to top 40 radio. Nope. And at one point in time, we had Nina Cherry's Buffalo Stance. And we found out that it was the same tempo as One by Metallica.
Nice.
So we took and this is how old school we were. We took to the old reel-to-reel and razor blade and made a Nina Cherry / Metallica's One dance mix.
I learned how to do that. Broadcast school.
Yep.
Splice and tape.
Yep. It was arduous, but fun. Mm-hmm. And the other thing we used to do at the radio station was we could take because we had the broadcast turntables, which allowed you to go backwards and cue things up. Mm-hmm. So we would sit over there and we'd have radio shows where we'd put like Led Zeppelin's Stairway to Heaven on and just go, yes. Did you hear what he said? He just said, I found Satan on a path one night. He said, there's power in Satan.
I think he said something about a pepperoni pizza.
Oh, dude, we played everything. We tried to find every backwards message. We swore that we did. And then one day I came up with this idea. Wait a minute. We've got that reel-to-reel deck. If we record, and it was a mono station, so it's a mono reel-to-reel deck. So if we record the album or the song to reel-to-reel, and then we flip the tape over, we'll play it backwards, and then we don't have to do this worst new by hand-driven stuff. Thought it was a great idea, so we did that. Started off with Stairway to Heaven, which we really swore to you said a whole thing about. I met Satan on a path one night. He said, "There's power in Satan. Believe in Satan." Right? We swear it was in there. Put it on the reel-to-reel where it's playing back at a constant speed. Hit play, and we heard yes. Big
surprise.
Oh man, it doesn't say anything.
Hail Satan.
And we went through all these songs, other than the ones that were blatantly obvious and had a message for you to find. There was nothing hidden in these until one day I'm walking to school and I'm listening to Pink Floyd The Wall. And it's the actual purchased tape of Pink Floyd The Wall on my auto reverse cassette deck, Walkman. And I'm listening to it, and I'm walking up behind the American Legion, making my little shortcut, and there's a really steep driveway, and it's winter, and I slip on some ice, and the Walkman comes flying out of my pocket, hits the ground, instantly changes sides from the impact, but doesn't change direction. So, and it happened, I don't remember what song is on the other side, but it went to name of the song on the wall where it's just an instrumental. It sounds like he's running through an airport.
Come on,
Matthew knows this. I can tell, but
running through an airport.
It's the instrumental. There aren't many on the wall.
It's not
Gate 17.
It's not Goodbye Blue
Isn't
Sky.
there any for boarding?
No. Anyway, but Kyle will find out the name of the song in a second. But if you sit there, all of a sudden I'm listening to it, I put it on, I'm pissed off because I think my thing's broken, and I hear, "Congratulations, you have found the secret message." What?
A mind is blown.
Write down what you have found and send it to Pink, care of Mr. Floyd. You have a call on line 1? It's my wife again.
That's it?
I'm like, holy crap, I heard a real secret message.
Drink more Ovaltine.
that's cool.
And it was on Pink Floyd The Wall.
Let's see.
How about you, Randy?
I'd say most of my musical influences come from my mom, my dad, and my uncle and my brother. So my mom was really into classical music. And we had a grand piano at the house. And so she would play piano music and listen to classical. And so I would lay under the piano and listen to her play all day. So,
and you can still hear? That's impressive.
Not really. And then My dad, he also had a
He didn't lay
vinyl
on
set.
top of it, like
No,
resting on one of
no, it wasn't like that. No,
Oh,
no.
that would have been cool.
Happy birthday. No, it wasn't nothing like that.
Hold on, sorry to interrupt you, but let me just play this quick. I don't care about copyright. Well,
I want to know if Brandon got in trouble for kicking shit while I was under there.
No,
Because I would have fucking with things.
it's empty spaces.
Aha.
If it ever
It's not instrumental. Those bastards.
That's creepy. That's pretty cool though. So your mom played classical piano, like concert style, or just for fun?
just for funsies. And so I would lay on the for funsies,
Just for funsies.
you know how it is. And then my dad also had a vinyl collection, but he had most of like ABBA.
Oh yeah.
He had every single ABBA album. What else did he have? Simon and Garfunkel. A lot of those guys. Neil Diamond, of course.
I
And
thought it was pronounced ABBA. It's ABBA.
that's how
I've heard it both ways.
Yeah.
Hello,
Ethernet.
darkness, my
You
old
can
friend.
spell it the same both ways.
You
too.
can.
Race car.
And then
He also listened to Mannheim Steamroller.
Hell yeah.
Oh
yeah.
my gosh. Like, dude,
Hell yeah.
Mannheim Steamroller Christmas.
Yep.
I can't go through a Christmas without
You have to.
thinking about that or listening to it. It's crazy.
We played a couple of those in jazz band in high school.
Yeah, man. Chip Davis.
Yep.
What? And then my uncle used to listen to classic rock. So listen to a lot of classic rock. And then my brother was into the music of the day. It was like Depeche Mode and Erasure, all that electronica stuff. So.
I feel
Then all my friends were into hip hop and stuff like that, and so I got the hip hop bug.
Steve's got Tourette's.
Yeah, so some show tunes in there, Bye Bye Birdie with Dick Van Dyke,
Oh.
the original
Yeah.
Broadway cast.
Birdie with Dick, huh?
Yeah,
Nice.
Birdie with a dick.
Bird in the hand is worth 2 dicks on a show.
Dicks and a pair of lips. I don't know. What?
Whoa.
What?
Show tunes.
So that only leaves you, Billy.
Didn't we talk about Billy's
Musical influences.
musical influences?
No.
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 Sorry,
We have not
skipped
talked
over
about
you.
Billy's
we
musical
talked about the
influences.
music store.
Yes.
I interrupted the
Which technically might be a musical influence, I suppose. But specifically, I was thinking more like when you were young. So
when I was young,
it seemed that life was so musical.
Logical.
Well,
Ba-ba-da-bum.
my mom listened to a lot of like country music and stuff, and so did my sister at the time.
You're not cool.
And so I only really listened to that stuff when I was in the car with them. And so I did like some of the guys, but not like all of them, but some were catchy, but not enough for me to like really want to listen to it when I was younger, But there was a radio, so you could just like push seek and like find everything on the fucking radio, But there was a time where like I was really big into like the 50s music.
Really?
Yeah, I was crazy for it.
Like any particular genre of 50s music? Like swing?
No,
or?
I didn't know much.
Elvis Presley.
I mean, of course, I didn't know much about it. We actually my mom had this, it was a board game, and it was something about like the oldies goldies board game, and it came with like a cassette tape with music on it. And I don't know, I think you were able to like play the game, play the song, and be able to guess. I don't know. I didn't play it, but I stole the tape.
Yeah, time for solid gold music game time.
Oh, it had all these songs on it. The Wanderer and Rock Around the Clock.
Be
and
my
Splish Splash.
baby.
Be my little
Like,
baby.
all these songs. It was great. Love Potion number 9. Like, that was my jam.
That's cool.
But then, of course, there was MTV, VH1, constantly on, you know. So I was influenced by that. But my brother was like 15 years older than I was. And so he was listening to the hair metal bands and everything. And at that time period, it was annoying. Like, it was cool to watch on MTV and stuff.
At that time, hair metal was really annoying.
Yeah, I wasn't really into it. Like, I didn't like Guns N' Roses and stuff like that was cool, but like their videos were just silly, you know, it was just ridiculous, you know. But yeah, I don't know. So I just had like a real big variety of music. Didn't really pick anything.
Well, I do want to interrupt you with one thing about the videos MTV, and just a little in case my wife ever listens to these things. I just want you to know, honey, that I do pay attention to you, and I'll mix a little bit of my own trivia in with this. The video format of the stupid stories, the cinematic stupid stories on MTV, before Michael Jackson actually changed it to quality stupid stories.
Yeah.
Was originally started by Adam Ant, Mr. Stuart Leslie Goddard, who he was the first one with his To Stand and Deliver, I think was the first one. It was actually like a small story as opposed to just the band standing in front of a multicolored background.
I like those.
Doing the overhead projector thing with the oil.
Yeah,
I like those.
Yeah. They serve their place.
Gels.
Yeah.
Let's take a quick break, shall we?
Yeah.
Before we go into the final topical content.
Final category.
Okay, we'll be right back.
Thank you for listening to the Talkaround Show. We're proud to announce that we are fundraising for the Trevor Project, and would be honored if you would visit our fundraising page, which can be found via our website at thetalkaroundshow.com. Please take a moment to visit thetrevorproject.org for more on what this great charity is doing and what it hopes to achieve. Thank you again. Now back to the Talkaround Show.
Hey, Dad, I'm hungry for something.
Anything in particular, son?
I don't know. What do we have?
Well, how about a big bowl of the Talkaround Show breakfast cereal? It's got all the filler with absolutely no valuable content whatsoever.
I love the Talkaround Show cereal. All the sugary little Kyles, the tart little Matthews, the bits of Billy and Randy, and even the snarky Steve Fluffs. It really starts my day off right, filling my belly with entertainment while keeping my head feeling clear of potentially valuable knowledge.
Well, that settles it. A big bowl of satirical goodness it is. And son, don't forget, the Talkaround Show can be consumed any time of day when you need that little entertainment boost. It even makes a great snack before bed for those times you really need your brain to dumb itself down so you can sleep better.
The Talkaround Show breakfast cereal, made with 100% organic chemical ingredients and absolutely no preservatives, as there's nothing to preserve. Available wherever your favorite podcasts are served, and online at thetalkaroundshow.com.
Hey son, save some for me. The Billy Bits are my favorite.
Fear not, my friends. This will be my greatest performance.
Here we go. We came, we saw, we kicked its ass.
And we're back.
Oh, boy.
Did we leave?
Not really.
No.
So this episode has been basically all about nostalgia and tripping back musically back in the day. I got to tell you, one thing I used to have back in the day was this little robot called 2XL. Ring a bell, Matthew?
Kinda.
It played.
Describe it.
It was a gray and white little rectangular box thing with two little red eyes.
Yes.
And it would take 8 tracks.
Yes, I do know that.
Oh, I just remember Robbie.
Oh no, this predates Robbie.
Yeah.
I had a Robbie.
Pre-Robbie.
This one had about 3 Teddy Ruxpins.
You could put 3. Basically, it was.
Why'd you have so many?
It had you put an 8 track in there.
Fucking break.
And you had. I don't remember. It was 4.
Graded then.
4 or 8 buttons on the front of them that would select the tracks, so he could ask you questions or do interactive stories, or even had this adapter.
Oh my gosh.
That's it.
That
Kyle's got a picture of 2XL right on his phone.
This is the original. If you just punch 2XL into Google, because when you said you were talking about it, I was like, oh, right, the one that had the cassette tape.
That was later.
This is later. This is the one from the 80s.
Yeah, that's
the
Robbie.
blue and gray one.
Is that a tape?
I was thinking of the different one.
No, Robbie
You
the
put a
Robot
tape
was.
in the second one?
Yeah.
Yeah, the blue and gray one takes an actual cassette tape. The
Robbie
brown one.
was by
the white
Radio
track.
Shack.
Yeah, it was silver.
Yeah, they had Robbie Jr., which carried a tray, and then the big Robbie, which nobody could really afford.
Right,
Maybe
except
Matthew
for Mr. Wizard.
Yeah. And I was incredibly. My parents actually at one point in time bought me the Robbie Jr. because I was so into it and so forth. And we had, between the rooms in our apartment, there were things in the doorways, so the robot could never actually leave the room, which really sucked. So that was a waste.
Punishment. Cruelty.
Go to your room, robot. Beep boop. Beep boop.
The 2XL thing was great, and yes, I had a collection of it because you could play your music 8 tracks on it as well. And his eyes would light up to the music.
Nice.
That's cool.
I used to play with that all the time. That was fun.
What was the robot's name from Nintendo?
There goes Kyle.
Go,
reaching
go,
for the phone.
internet, go.
Something robot, I'm guessing.
I want to say it was Rob.
No, it was something else. They were talking about it on a
I think
different podcast the other day.
Robbie the Robot.
It was Rob.
Yeah.
R-O-B. Robotic Operating Buddy. And I only know that because when we used to play Smash Brothers, somebody would inevitably play him and would just yell out, "You got Rob, motherfucker!"
Robbie the Robot was the name of the robot in Lost in Space, wasn't it?
I believe so, yeah.
I think that's where that whole thing started.
Danger, Will Robinson, danger!
Danger, Will Robinson, danger.
Warning, that old man's a pedophile, Will Rogers. Will Robinson, excuse me.
Dr. Smith is a pedophile, Will Robinson. No, I'm not. Pay no attention to the young man.
Listen here, you cantankerous clank.
Lost in Space robot was known as Robot.
Was it really?
Yes, I'm looking at it right now.
Right, meow.
You got robbed.
Right, yeah.
General utility, non-theorizing environmental control robot, known simply as Robot.
What was the movie that
Forbidden
lost?
Planet.
Yeah,
is where Robbie the Robot is
What
from.
was the robot in Buck Rogers?
Jeez.
That would be Twinkie.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, that was it.
Hey, Buck. Which was also the same voice of the guy that did a lot of the Looney Tunes.
Mel Blanc.
Mel Blanc, thank you.
He did the robot?
Yep.
Yep.
I didn't know that. That's cool.
Not Dr. whatever his name is, the character they tried to bring in that Twinkie wore around his neck all the time. Buck, I do not believe that you should be doing this at this point in time. It's illegal in 17 sectors.
Mel Blanc, which is, of course, French for postal white.
All right.
Kyle's trivia moment.
Pretty sure that's right. I'm pretty sure that's right, everybody.
I thought the robot was the same guy.
Do not correct me.
The Fantasy Island.
What?
It stands for a whale's vagina.
What'd you say about Fantasy Island?
That was a real person,
I
Billy.
thought that was the robot
Who?
in Buck Rogers. Was the guy who played.
Tattoo?
Yeah.
Oh, you mean because of his small stature.
Hervé Villachez?
Hervé Villachez. That was racist. I'm sorry, everybody. Well, he should have pronounced Hervé Villachez like Hervé Villachez would pronounce Hervé Villachez.
Well, here's the thing, Billy.
Ricardo Montalban.
You might actually be onto something. I don't know who actually was Twinkie. I know that Mel Blanc voiced Twinkie, kind of like how
Kenny Baker.
He's in everything.
I know, right?
I'm thinking about James Earl Jones and Darth Vader. He didn't actually play Darth Vader.
No, that was David Prowse.
Yes. Prowse. See, there's a Star Trek reference. I'm trying to appease you. Steve's trivia moment.
What Star Trek reference?
Star Wars? Did I
Yes.
say?
Yeah.
Did I say Star Trek?
You did.
See, I can't help it. I can't appease him. Couldn't even manage to whip that out of my ass.
I think that just made him irrationally mad.
Star Wars was horrible. I couldn't imagine seeing E.T. in space.
So I don't know how Kenny Baker did it, man. I don't know how he is every Ewok. I don't know.
Did you have a speaking spell?
Of course.
Because that sounded just like fucking E.T.
I had an angry German speaking spell. Nine! Spell dog! D-O. You are taking too long! You will not be punished!
Oh, crap. All right.
Felix Silla, S-I-L-L-A, played Twiki. You will recognize this guy when I show you a picture of him here.
Because they can all see that on the podcast.
Oh, yeah.
You'll have to look it up.
Okay.
He was one of the Munchkins.
Yeah,
I
he
believe.
was.
I got mixed up in my head, speak and spell, and
Wizard
see
of
and
Oz.
say.
Oh, that's totally different.
You guys want
Cow goes.
T-A.
You guys want to know?
K-A-R-O.
Yes, Billy? He's getting angry.
U.
I don't know what's going on over there.
End.
He sounds like sound like a speak and spell.
It's not working. Yeah, because I didn't recognize it.
This hose makes my wheelchair.
What were you going to say, Billy? You forgot, didn't you?
I sure did.
Yeah.
If you guys wanted to know how much I know about Munchkins,
The ball end goes up to your lips, or it hits you, and you get a split lip.
no, very little.
He's very.
We gotta get you like a clip on or a boom or something, Billy. Eventually, that'd be great. Then you can't get away from it.
Oh, okay.
We got to take turns holding Billy's boom mic.
A boom. Hey, Billy, how you doing?
Boom the shot. Boom the shot.
I can have Steve do that for me in my fucking lip.
It's got a big ass windsock on it, so it just looks like a cat hanging over the top of Billy.
It's like a Nerf
Yeah.
protected.
Like big Nerf football. I don't think you know what we meant.
Big ass H.
A big ass H. Oh boy.
I think we've wrapped it up.
I think you're right.
No, I think we should go home, get some sleep.
That sounds like a good plan.
Okay.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, this has been another fun-filled, pointless episode of the Talkaround Show.
The best type.
We just discussed some crazy, crazy shit that nobody cares about except us.
I know. I didn't even get to any of the topics I wrote down. To save them for another day.
Yeah.
We just didn't have time and ran out of time.
You didn't share. We didn't know you had any.
Yeah.
I told you I did.
2 days ago.
told him
I
you
told
did.
you today.
Today.
Plus,
Told you
I believe
10
I
minutes
said,
ago.
hey, does anyone want to use one of my topics? Or does someone else have their own? And you did not say a
Yours
word.
seemed good and relevant at the moment.
boy.
Mine seemed like a left turn.
Oh, boy.
Oh, the next time we come around, we'll have to remember we didn't circle all the way back around, but we actually were discussing the other day what our top 5 favorite songs in certain genres were.
Oh, yeah, that's
Oh, yeah,
right.
we have to circle back around some other time.
Although
Damn it, I threw that list away, too.
Did
You
you?
guys want to know what a hot topic is?
Yeah.
It's a store.
Store.
It's a retail store?
Yeah. Yeah, it's good, like goth and anime.
But I don't even think, you know what we're going to do? Instead of revisiting that on the show, because we can't play clips of the songs.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
We'll have to write an article about it on
I
the
like this
website.
idea.
Oh, I could do that.
And our top 5 picks. And this way you can use your iTunes or Google Play and download the damn music yourself and pay for it legally, because legally is the only way to really listen to music and movies these days.
I agree with that.
Agreed. Yep.
Just putting it out there. Don't want anybody to pirate anything except our show.
I want to hear a phone call from you guys.
Oh, that'd be cool. Definitely call us.
Call us.
If you're, I mean, I know we had such, success getting you to email us.
Oh my gosh.
And
it's like
text us
floods of them both.
Text and Twitter us and Facebook us.
Yeah.
I can't even respond to them all. There's so many.
I'm hoping the calls will be more popular than email.
Hey,
'cause you
Steve,
can call
what's
and really
that
tell us.
number again?
Oh, hey, the number just happens to be 702-979-4584. That's 702-979-4584.
But wait, Steve, what if they wanted to go to the website and somehow send some sort of information that way? How would they do that?
You can gladly go to our website at thetalkaroundshow.com. That's thetalkaroundshow.com. TALKAROUND show.com.
Is there any other way?
What if they wanted to send an email?
But what
if they want more?
You can gladly send us an email at
anything else?
info@thetalkaroundshow.com or any of our names at thetalkaroundshow.com, such as Randy, Kyle, Matthew, and this guy over here, Billy.
Billy.
Steve, I have a question.
Yes.
Do we have any sort of social media presence?
I'm glad you asked.
That would be cool if we did.
We just happen to have social media presence in
Oh, we
all
do?
of the
No way.
mainstream
What?
social media outlets.
Hit me with it.
Let me tell you right now, you can find us at Facebook at facebook.com/The Talkaround Show, Twitter at twitter.com/Talkaround Show. You can drop the on Twitter. That was before we figured that part out. We're on the gram, the Instagram. I don't know how Instagram URLs work, but you can search for the Talkaround Show and we come up. Also,
what about YouTube?
We are on YouTube at YouTube/ oh crap, I can't remember if it's the Talkaround Show or Talkaround Show, but we're on YouTube. As a matter of fact, we're the #1 Google hit for the Talkaround Show. So go ahead and Google us and just see whatever comes up there.
What if someone wanted to send us a letter?
They can fuck right off.
Copy that.
You can fax that Google number.
Waste of postage.
And the other thing you could do that I want to put out there right now is you're already listening to this, but maybe you're with a friend who's listening to this and you want to find out how to listen to the Talkaround Show yourself.
And we want to boost our numbers.
We sure as fucking hell do.
So stop listening to someone next to you and make them download it themselves.
That's right. Yeah. Go download it. If you listen to this with a friend and you enjoyed it, just fucking download it so it counts as a hit, okay? You'll have to listen to it a second time.
You. We're talking to you.
Yeah, you in the office right now.
You.
That's listening to this being blasted out of somebody's computer.
Yeah, you, Darlene, and all of your office mates. I know you're listening
you
to
with
it.
the shirt.
Make them download it, damn it.
You in the first base bench.
If you don't listen to this...
You wearing the shoes.
You wearing shoes. You with the hair. If you don't
you
sit
with the
here,
fucking hair.
If you don't sit here and download this show yourself, I want to tell you right now. I'm going to tell your coworkers about that bottle, that fifth of Jack that you got in that top left desk drawer. I'm telling you about that right now. And the Listerine isn't working, by the way. Everybody knows. But you can find us on all the major podcast carriers. That's the Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Stitcher, Google Play Store, any place where podcasts are done. We're there.
The YouTube channel actually has all the episodes as well, right?
It does, but don't listen to it there because it doesn't count.
Doesn't count.
Don't do it.
Also, it's really boring. It's just a static image. We don't do that. It does it automatically.
Jerks.
Nah, idiots. I'm trying to make clips and stuff. Randy's trying to help me. We're fighting over it.
That's how shit gets done.
So you'll see more of us on social media popping around. I found this great website that's going to help me make some of those things. Puts a little animated little waveform at the bottom of pictures while the audio plays. It's a lot easier than my After Effects method. Nobody cares.
If
Steve
anybody
does it
has any
all.
ideas for a podcast bingo, let me know.
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Podcast bingo.
Could you expand on that a little bit?
Let's see here. It's a bingo game with I'll have to get back
Do
to
you
you on
want
that.
some
I haven't-
oft-repeated sayings that we have?
Yeah, so every time my wife is
Right?
another good one. Let's see if Billy tells a pun.
Someone says, "Oh my God."
Someone references either Star Trek or Star Wars, somewhere along that line.
Somehow
Just
we
give us some
mentioned
ideas.
Kyle's gay.
What?
That should just be the free space. Just say, the bingo board should just say Kyle's gay in the middle of it, and you just get to stamp that one. Can't do just. It comes with a mushroom stamp already on it.
Mushroom stamp.
I just gotta I gotta say I just gotta always put that out there because it always still to this day we've had the big gay Q&A episode and still to this day it's like I didn't realize you were gay until you were like
Yeah.
oh yeah, so me and my husband.
He's very casual about it.
You are the most non-gay gay guy. I think there's something going on, dude.
It's all right. I'm going to
think-
let you guys in on my big secret here. I'm actually a straight guy that just loves sucking dick. I don't even like men. I just love sucking dick.
I'm not gay.
I can't. I don't know. I just fell into it.
Are you saying you're a closeted straight?
I'm a closeted straight man. I'm trapped in here. I'm like, ooh, I sure love boobs with their squeezy
Boobiness.
tit feel. I don't even know what the hell they feel like.
That's how you do it right there.
Squeezy,
Women drop their
squeezy.
shirts and you
Yeah.
look at them and say, "Wow, you have really hot areolas."
Those are so great. I have squoze one boob in my entire life.
Squoze.
Is that the term that you guys use?
Yes,
Like when you're like,
squoze.
so guys, last night my wife let me squoze the boobs.
Mascos.
Squoze.
How do you even spell that?
Squoze.
We were in the
SQUOOZE.
That's squoze.
Squoze. I don't know how you spell it.
I scoozed all over the place.
Squozed.
I do feel I'm actually a little shaved about this, but
Shaved?
I was a little shaved about this.
That's what he said, right?
Yeah, sure sounds like
It was in my early 20s. My friend Katie I was driving. My friend Katie was sitting in the front seat. She was talking about how something, I don't remember what she was
she
talking
have
about. She didn't
seatbelt
want to
on?
wear like a 2-piece swimsuit or something because she felt uncomfortable with it. And she was talking. And I said something about like, well, you just need to make your breasts old news so nobody's talking about them. And she's like, how do I do that? And I just reached over and went, honk, honk. I'm like, there, now they're old news. Nobody cares. She was like, oh my God.
And you were like, what?
I squozed him.
I just did that while you were driving, didn't I? I felt like a dick afterwards. I had to apologize. I still have to apologize to her.
Did it move? Like
Not at all.
Like in?
No, it didn't go anywhere. The vibrations from the car were helping, but it was a manual transmission. That's not me playing with my dick.
Fine.
I'm
I see how this all goes. Hey, let's wrap up the show. Okay, time to get
yeah,
good.
and then we all just bust out with it. That's how it works, Steve. You'll have to edit this part into earlier in the episode.
I probably will.
That's fine.
It should
Squoze
have
it
no.
in between a couple of the other segments.
Squoze it all in.
Just reach down in there, Hong Kong. Spread them apart.
Make it old news.
Squoze it in
Right,
and make it old news.
Oh my.
How do we make this old news?
Just close the door behind you and start editing.
Well, everybody, thanks for listening to the Talkaround Show. Be sure to call us at the phone number that we gave you 1,000 times. Be sure to check us out on all of our online presences. Download, listen to us, kick your friends' asses, and get it for yourself.
Trevor Project.
Call me. Donate to the Trevor
Oh, please
Project,
do.
which you've probably already heard the commercial. If I remember to put it in there,
Maybe twice.
maybe twice. Maybe twice.
Maybe twice.
I'm Steve, king of all absolutely nothing. You've been listening to Kyle, the
Hello,
closeted
goodbye.
straight guy. Matthew, the irrational angry
Hey,
one. Billy, the weed.
I don't care for that
mellow.
name. I really don't like that name.
They
Makes
just
me
call
angry.
me a weed
Irrationally
mellow.
Yeah, you're not really Weed Mellow. What's a good
Weed
name?
Mellow. I think got me a Weed Pillow.
What's a good episode related name for Billy?
Mike in the teeth.
Only one Mike in the teeth, Billy.
And
Belly.
It has a nice ring to it.
Roadhead Randy.
When it hit my teeth.
And become
Rowdy Randy Piper.
Rowdy Randy. Just calm down, dude.
Just calm down, Randy.
Calm down. Thanks a lot for
so worked up.
Thanks a lot for listening, and we'll see you next time.
Bye.
Bye, everybody.